Paul Ryan was at Success Academy Charter School in Harlem, New York earlier this week. And as he was leaving, he was hilariously booed and people chanted healthcare for all, not just Paul, as well as FU. And there were many of those FU chants. The entire Trump Care, American Health Care Act, Obamacare repeal fiasco is an ever-growing fiasco, truly. Here's video from independent video journalist Sandy Backham, and not a friend in the crowd for Paul Ryan here. Right. How does Paul Ryan keep that bizarre smile on his face the entire time as an entire city block is booing him? He comes out and waves. Maybe he misheard the booing and profanity as cheers.
Yeah, or maybe he was being sarcastic, I guess. Just get in the car and go.
Yeah, and Paul Ryan, the thing about Paul Ryan and his relationship to healthcare policy is that he's obviously involved directly in this totally abortive bill, but he's also a huge hypocrite. He relied on Social Security benefits as a teen when his father passed away. Arguably, government welfare programs are responsible for keeping Paul Ryan on his feet, helping him to pay for college, getting him to where he is today. He's worked in the public sector for decades, having his salary paid by taxpayer dollars, yet at any opportunity, he wants to take away systematically any social welfare dollars that he can from average people. And if Trump and Pence get impeached, you know who our president is, Pat?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, with a country of 300 million people, you can find a crowd of people who are going to boo any particular policy or politician. But the thing is here, it's not the exception, it's the rule, because their healthcare bill is polling anywhere from 17 to 38%.
Yes.
And Paul Ryan is in charge of a Congress that has a 20% approval rating.
On that note, will the AHA, call it what you will it take down Republicans in the midterms? There's actually a risk here, and it's pretty clear that more reasonable House Republicans get it, despite voting in favor of this bill. They all had the sense to decline the MSNBC invitation on Joy Reid's program to explain why they voted for it. It's so unpopular that it's not worth appearing in public to defend it, and Senate Republicans seem to be closer to reality on this. It's going to be hard to find something that both Senate Republicans will agree with, along with the most extreme House Republicans. That's what it'll take to pass this, and I don't know if it'll happen.
And of course, the Congressional Budget Office hasn't yet assessed this, and many of those congressmen, when they give the interviews, say they didn't read it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Paul Ryan's going to be against this because in 2009 he said, I don't think we should pass bills when we haven't read them and we don't know what they cost.
I'm glad you brought that up, because earlier in the week we said it was sort of set up so that members of Congress, members of the House wouldn't have time to read the health care bill. I later found out, is this true? It's only a 66-page bill?
Yeah, but there was amendments added onto it.
66 pages actually isn't a lot to read in 3 days. So I kind of want to amend my prior comment about it. When I sit down and read a nonfiction book, if I read for an hour, depending on the book, it's about a minute per page.
Yeah.
Or a little more, right? You're talking about 45 to 60 pages an hour. If you have 3 days and 20% of the American economy is connected to healthcare, you actually do have the time and should have the motivation to read 66 pages, maybe have the amendments summarized by staff, but you can read 66 pages.
And of course, this isn't light reading because there's a lot of legalese style text in there. You're making a policy proposal.
Even then, 3 minutes per page. Yeah. You can still do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think, Pat, that the tax plan and maybe even the Obamacare repeal and replacement will be delayed because of the James Comey fiasco, and it'll just slow down everything that's going on?
I think Democrats will use that as a reason to slow those things down, but ultimately they'll get to the floor.
Would maybe Republicans also focus on other things? I don't know. I got a lot of emails from people yesterday saying the tax plan is definitely slowing down, and maybe even the AHA. We'll see. That Comey fiasco is not going away anytime soon. Today's episode of The David Pakman Show is made possible in part by Warby Parker eyeglasses. Warby Parker recently did the right thing and ditched advertising on right-wing conspiracy website Breitbart, pulling their ads off. And you can get the free 5-day home try-on from Warby Parker. Check out their glasses. I use them when I'm not wearing contact lenses. I started with the free at-home trial. They send you 5 pairs of glasses. You see which ones you like, you send them back, and whichever one you pick, they will put your prescription into. I like this because I can actually show the glasses to other people and not have to just decide on the spot like in an eyeglass store. The eyeglass industry is controlled by very few corporations that keep the prices very, very high, even over $300 for prescription glasses. With Warby Parker, they start at just $95. Mine costs that, including lenses. And for every pair sold, they give a pair to someone in need. So to try the 5 pairs and support the David Pakman Show, go to warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS.